strong guys, because by the end it's going to be heavy in those offering plates. It's the strangest offering we ever collected, I think. And hopefully as the ushers come by, you're letting them go, right? Not holding on. We'll keep a string on the other end of the paper in case I need that back. We're getting rid of it, right? New start. That's what I love about Lent. A new start. I went to get my car washed today. I'm not just filling space, there's a relationship. And I was dressed for the day. And the guy who writes on your windshield what you want came up to the car and he knelt on the ground and he said, "Bless me, Father, my life is a mess." And I put my hand on, he had his two hands on the door, and I put my hand on this. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Actually, I'm doing better, but I'd appreciate your prayers." I said, "Absolutely." And I got his name, and I'm going to be praying for him. But it's just that kind of thing. Like, we need to be free of the junk we carry around too often. And sometimes just by being that kind of person, I have the advantage, right? I have the right clothing. But just by being that kind of person that you can be wherever you are, in your families, in your workplaces, in your schools, places where you just find leisure, by being that kind of person, you can help other people feel that their sins aren't so tightly bound to them that they don't have a choice. And I said to him, today's Ash Wednesday. He says, "I know, I haven't gotten to Mass yet. I've seen all the people coming by with their cars with the cross on their forehead." He said, "Hopefully I will get out in time to go to Mass." I said, "Well, Ash Wednesday means a new start. It's not just this depressing, I'm a miserable sinner, but it's a new start. It's letting go of all of those sins, okay? It's letting go. They don't define you. They're not even that precious, right? They're not even that precious. You guys can bring those up. We just sometimes we revel in our sinfulness, don't we? Especially, we want people to either think it's cool if we're really cranky. For instance, thank you guys. Or we want to scare them. Did you guys manage to write something? You thought of something. I'm proud of you. It took a while. You came up with something. It's really not, it doesn't define you. Your sinfulness does not define you, because that's not how God created you. Jesus defines you, right? And that's why he looks the way he does on the cross. Because he's taken all that stuff off of you and put it on himself. So if that's what we look like in the eyes of Christ, that's what we should look like in our own eyes, in the eyes of other people. see this. I think that's a metaphor. You could basically, there's nothing in there. You guys are going to have to do better next year. That's my job. This is what all that amounted to. That's what I want to impress on you. This is what all that amounted to. Basically nothing. Basically nothing. So why do we hold this stuff so close? You know, why do we beat ourselves up with this stuff? There's nothing there. And I say that's like a metaphor because when you consider the degree of sinfulness in relationship to the abundance of God's grace, I think that's about it, right? Related to the abundance of God's grace, that's about it. And yet we think that this little bit of sin puts this huge barrier between ourselves and God. It's nothing. I've had people come up to me, more than one person come up to me and say, you know, I know you're always talking about the grace of God, Pastor, but I've done things that I don't think God can forgive. I'm not talking about anybody here. I say that because I'm not giving away secrets, but I've had more than one person say that to me. How can that be? How can that be? If the love of God is so great. So, at this point, I invite you to come up for the marking of ashes and a reminder, and then to let it go. To feel all that negative energy that we carry around with us dissolve into that cross and be redeemed. So, as you wish, and one at a time, I'll just, by one at a time, I mean, don't crowd around. So, come on up, and if we run out of ashes, oh well. I invite you to come forward.